Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Love for Cardboard. In the last video I discussed how I make window trim for the exteriors of my cardboard houses, and I gave you just a small sample of how it is done. I'm really glad that I cut the video short, the last video, because, you know, there were just way too many windows that needed to be trimmed out. And I'm sure pretty much all of you, you don't want to be sitting here for 7.5, 8 hours watching me cut trim, glue trim, cut trim, glue trim. Because yeah, it gets really boring. Usually when I cut the video and post it, I put some music on and I basically repeat everything that I just showed you in the last video of how to, measure up how thick, you want the trim to be versus how tall you want it to be by placing it up next to the cardboard windows. And then basically taking your hot glue and then applying it and then pressing it down. And then basically how to layer up to create that nice crown molding at the top of those windows. But yeah, we're working on the Haunted Edition Lizzie Borden house. So let me show you what I've gotten done thus far. We got the exterior front of the house that's almost finished right here. Yep, I was able to put all of that nice trim detailing along this pitched roof here, and I got the windows done. I still have yet to do this door, and I will do that in a video for you pretty soon. So yeah, that's the front of the house. And here is the back of the house. Okay, that's the back. That's what it's going to be. And here is the right side of the house. I mean, look at all these windows that I had to cut trim out for, you know? I mean, this is so big I can't even get this on my phone screen, you know? Here's one hand here, and here's one hand here. So, yeah, I mean, I got that one. And then here's the left side of the house, which would be toward the servant quarters. That's what they called them back in the 1840s through the 1890s. So they call this the left side entrance. And obviously, you know, from the perspective on my phone, it's going the wrong way. So really the correct way would be this way, because the doorway is really on this side. So I've got it facing the opposite direction just so you can see how that's going to look. So the next thing that I'm going to do in this short video is basically show you how to mix and match colors. So I already went online and I looked at a photograph of the real Lizzie Borden house. I mean, you can Google it. It's pretty easy to do. And I had to kind of envision in my mind what the trim out of the windows and, fancy detailing, trim color is going to be. So, in my collection of colors, now let me see where they are. I never ever have anything out when I need it at the right time. Here it is. I go to a place called Michael's. Hobby Lobby can carry this paint, or you can even go on Amazon and buy it too, you know. So yeah, basically it's called Craft Smart. It's not that expensive. It's very reasonable. You know, I try to build these houses on a budget, you know. So I mean, it's these houses really cost you more time than money, really, because you've got like a $4 box. And then you've got, maybe, what, $6 in paint. But the paint is going to probably last you, you know, the better part of maybe 6 or 7 more houses that you're going to make. or more, you know, depending on what colors you're using, you know, and you can also buy the colors individually, you know, right here. Yeah, Craft Smart, yeah, there it is. So I find that the browns and the brown seems to go the fastest, for me at least, because I do a lot of trim work inside the house using that color brown, and I usually mix a little bit of red in it to give it that cherry tone, and then I come behind it with a little bit of high gloss polyurethane for wood, which brings out those rich notes and really, really, really gives that cardboard a nice cherry finish. So, and then what I also do is I buy a gallon of Glidden Essentials interior paint, white. This is eggshell. I usually don't like high gloss because that really doesn't work too well on cardboard. So the eggshell seems to work. You can get eggshell. I don't recommend flat. You could do semi-gloss if you wanted to. But yeah, eggshell's kind of a nice finish. You know, it kind of has just the finest amount of shine that you want, you know, but it really sticks to the cardboard. So that's it right there. Glidden Essentials interior paint, white. So I will go through this process and show you how I make the right color and try and match using my own eyes. Put this phone right here. I got you sitting in a container. You don't believe me? Look, let me switch your camera. See? That's my working container right there, and the phone just sits right in there. So that's where you're going to be sitting on this stuff right there, and tip it back just a little bit. Okay, that's going to work. So I've got a handy dandy spoon right here that I use, and I take my cardboard scissors here, and I just kind of pop the lid off this white paint. You always want to make sure that the lid is on tight because this gallon of paint can be very expensive. It's like close to 30 bucks or something like that. I don't know. I'm only ballparking it. Isn't that what I do? I ballpark everything, right? Even cooking I ballpark, you know? I don't measure a lot. So this is the fun part. Do you know what I put my paint in when I mix them? Unused specimen cups. That's right. You can get these on a lot of different websites. They do come sterile. Never been used, but I find that these are great containers for screwing on lids. Right like that. And it keeps your paint fresh. Doesn't dry it out. And you can make many different color combinations, you know, that'll last you through an entire project or many projects. So, let me kind of turn this here so that we can see this. All right. And now I just kind of mix that paint together real good. And then I just spoon some in there into this container. And since this trim out is kind of like a dark green, you really want to make a lot of it because, you know, you've got a lot of trim and underside work that you got to do. So that should be enough right there. I am going to wash that spoon off, and I will be back with you in just a moment. Okay, guys, I'm back. I just got to get that spoon washed off there because I really don't want to get white paint on my hardwood floors or anything like that. Let me get that camera situated right where we want it. Okay, so I got the paint, the white paint, which is the base. I mean, if I just went with the colors from Craft Smart, I would totally run out of all of the good stuff. So you kind of need white, you know, as a base. And there we go. Got white paint right there. Follow behind it with some black. right there. Now, I'm probably going to measure I don't know, maybe that was about a 1/4 teaspoon or something like that. I don't know. But you really need this color to be dark. That's not dark enough, because we're making up a lot of it. And when you add white, it makes everything so much lighter. So maybe about a 1/2 teaspoon probably we're going to go with. Maybe a little bit more. I don't know yet. Alright. Something like that. Let's see on the light how that looks. Oh, it just looks gray. It's not dark enough. Okay. But obviously now I usually go around the edges there to kind of make sure that all of that mixes up really well. Ooh, it's raining outside. Okay. Yeah. Like this. Wipe my pinkers off right here. Burners. Good stuff. Green. Alright. Put some green in there. Green has to be a good color. Alright. I want a real dark, rich green. Alright. Okay. Is that it? Keep going, keep going. Keep going. Going strong. What are we getting here? Oh, it's finally starting to take shape. Oh, you need a lot of it. Okay. How's that looking? Pretty good right there. And let's see here. Get some brown in there. Not too much, just enough. Okay, so now that I've got that base mixed, I can start by actually trimming out what needs to get trimmed out. So let me take a look at this color through here. Okay. Whoops. Right. And I'm going to start a fresh pour. And we save that for later, because now we've got a darker base, which is going to help with trimming out the doors and windows. Ready, ready. Let's do this. Let's see. I want to set that there for right now. I don't want to get that on anything. Alright, a lot of green. And a little bit more black. Because we're aiming for that perfect color. Okay. I think I'm going to pitch that napkin before it causes me any more problems. I've got my own stuff here to deal with. Alright. There. All right. Pour. It wants to come out. Yep. It looks like there's a big old wad of something in there. These colors are quite old. They kind of get all, yep, they get all gelled and gunky on you. So, hold on one second. Okay. I just had to get a bunch of this scum out of the bottom there. It was pretty bad. That's why it wouldn't pour out right. Okay. There we are. Come on. Wonderful. All right. Let's see what we got now. Hopefully that should do something. Gotta try and mix up that perfect color here. Is that gonna do it? Thinking? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay. I think I've about targeted the right color that I want. It's kind of a pine green, kind of a sagey pine, darkish color green, something like that. Yep. Yep. Now none of my paint ever goes to waste because I always use it for different projects, and I wanted to make up a base so that when I in fact made the right color that I wanted to get this project done, I had it. So I'm going to wash this spoon and my hands back off, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. Got the mixing spoon all cleaned up, and there it is, ready to go for the next paint mixing job. And then our colors right in there that we want. So now I get my paintbrush. I'll get the right paintbrush here. That's a good one. Okay. Here we go. That's what I'm going to use. I like to keep things kind of cost efficient there. And yeah, I'll work with this piece right here, the big front. So I'm going to test the color, and I want to see how it is. So, all right, and a nice little knob on there. Apply that. Because really, in effect, it should be much darker. Yeah. We can always go darker if we want. Excuse me, my goodness. And I think I just might go a little bit darker there too. Not quite happy with it, because it's not dark enough. Not dark enough. La 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 la. Okay, get all that mixed around really well. I mean, really well is what you want. Yeah, that looks better, I think. Let me try and wring some of that off because this color is very precious. I can't always make a second batch that is perfectly on spot with the last color that I made. So I'm making little test swatches there to see if that helps. Yeah. Okay. Should be a little bit darker than the last one. And I just use this color extremely sparingly. sparingly. And of course, when it darkens, and when it dries, it'll darken even more. And when you're painting, you want to be very careful to not get any paint outside of the trim. And that's even more so when you have window glass in there. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat there. Oh well. Stuff happens. Think you're prepared for a video and then that crap comes on. Okay. And of course, after it dries, if you don't like it, you can always come back and touch it up again. Now, the crossbar in the middle, I gotta double check that, but I think on the real house that's actually white. So, I will double check that in a bit. And then when it comes time to actually put the artificial glass in these windows, I will show you how to trim those out too. So yeah, just enjoy watching me paint just a little bit here. And then what I say is I like to take the paintbrush and I like to get just as close as I can down to the bottom. You don't want to go too far, because remember, you got to respray paint the entire frickin' house if you go over. So let's look at that. Is that the color that I want to go with? Kind of like a hunter green or something? Yeah. All right. I'm going to let that dry then and come back to it and take a look at it in a little while. So, that's how you get one window done. Alright guys, that's a wrap on that video. Hope you guys have a great day. Be back in a bit.